A podcast can be the wrong answer to a perfectly good communication problem. Not because podcasts are ineffective, because the format can fight the message, the constraints, and the way the audience actually wants to receive the information. That's why, when a brief arrives asking for a specific deliverable, my favourite question is still, why this? Not why do you want to communicate, that may already be clear. Why is this particular format the best way to achieve the outcome for this audience under these conditions? When someone says to me, we need a podcast or we need a video, they haven't necessarily given you the brief. They've given you a proposed solution. The real brief sits underneath it. Who needs to understand what? Why does it matter now? What constraints are operating and what should happen next? Treating the requested format as fixed can lock the project into the wrong answer before any strategic thinking begins. A format is a delivery vehicle. It's not the objective. The objective should choose the format, not the other way around. A recent project made that distinction very clear. We were working with a highly regulated organisation that wanted a podcast to explain a set of complex changes. The problem was that every word needed tight approval. The episodes would need to be largely scripted and held closely to formal talking points. That creates a mismatch. A strong podcast depends on authenticity, spontaneity, and human conversation. When two people are effectively reading approved paragraphs at each other, the audience is going to feel it. The client didn't have a bad objective. They had chosen a medium whose strengths were incompatible with the constraints of the job. The way out is not instinct. It's a short sequence of questions. Before approving a brief, ask 4 questions. What must the audience understand? What are we allowed and not allowed to say? Where and how will the audience realistically consume this information? And which format gives the message the best chance of working within those conditions? Only then should you choose the deliverable. It's not about making projects more complicated, it's about removing avoidable complexity before production begins. 10 minutes interrogating the brief can save an entire series from being built around the wrong assumption. For this project, the objective stayed the same. The content system is what changed. For that client, we recommended a scripted video-led series instead. The same core content then became an audio version for people who prefer to listen, short social clips that pointed back to the main explanation, and written articles that could be distributed through the website and email. One clear source created a suite of useful formats without pretending they all serve the same purpose. The principle, of course, is simple. Build around the communication job, then adapt the idea for the places your audience already spends time. Don't force the audience to accommodate your favourite format. The best creative partners shouldn't simply accept your brief and start producing. They should help determine whether the deliverable is capable of solving your communication problem. A strong brief should be able to explain the audience, the required change, the constraints, the distribution pathway, and the role of every proposed asset. When those things are missing, production may create activity without creating understanding for your audience. Sometimes the answer will still be a podcast. Sometimes it'll be a video, an article, a workshop, or a combination of those things. The value is in knowing why and being able to defend that decision before the budget is committed. A well-interrogated brief does not restrict creativity. It gives creativity a clear job. At the Content Engine, strategy and execution belong together. We interrogate the problem before committing to the production pathway. To explore how the right communication system could help your organisation create clarity, build trust, and drive action, visit thecontentengine.com.au and book an introductory call.